What's up? What's up? What's up?
Not much.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Lonestar Lifestyle, back at it again.
Yes, sir.
But we got a special guest today, Sicario, Sylvestre, Quiñonez, the boy
sir.
from the hills. What's going on, Sicario? How you
Not
doing,
much,
man?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
You know, this has been a long year, tough year.
Yeah. I think it's been tough for everybody. X, what's up, man?
Man,
in
hey,
the building.
I'm always happy to be back. You know, the famous guest we got right here. Just ready to chop it up with them, see what we got going on.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's been a blessing to have you on the show. We're glad to have you, Sicario. It's been a minute.
I've been wanting to come for quite some time.
Yeah. We
Hell
keep
yeah.
trying to get each other our schedules together, and you got a lot going on. You've been in California.
Got a lot of things going on.
No, you got a
Right.
bunch of stuff going on.
It's like I can't make up my mind.
Right.
That's good
Right.
though. Stay busy all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Let's jump right into it. For our viewers out there, you're a professional boxer, but I think when we set up this platform, we said let's pull the curtain back.
Right.
Let's pull the curtain back. Let's really dive into who is Sylvestre Quiñonez. You know, that's a question
All right.
for you.
So I was born and raised in San Antonio, and when I was in 6th grade, I moved to Johnson City. It's about an hour north to the hill country,
Okay.
and that's when I started boxing with my dad. And when I was for my 15th birthday, I started boxing with my dad, and he started bringing me back to San Antonio.
Nice.
And yeah,
That's where the
Okay.
story landed them. Hey,
Okay.
all the way up here in 2-0.
Yeah, straight up.
Mhm.
So when you start boxing, when you say you start boxing with your dad, was it? Did you go through the Golden Glove
Okay.
system, or did you? How did that
Okay,
all
I
come
got you.
about? You know what I mean?
yeah. So my brother, he begged my dad to take him to the gym for years, over and over. And finally, after my 15th birthday, he took my brother, and I just tagged along.
Yeah. So you just
Yeah.
jumped in the ride
Yeah.
and said, "I'm riding."
And that's when I saw a professional boxer jumping rope for 20 minutes straight.
All right.
I was like, damn, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me.
So once
Imagine how much love and support I'll get from my city if I could do stuff like that.
right. So once you walked in the gym at 15 years old, you knew, hey, this is something that I want to pursue.
That's when my life changed.
Oh, nice.
For real.
Nice. So let me ask you a little bit about your dad. Is he a boxing trainer? How did he get involved with the gyms out there?
So when my dad was in high school, and my dad was in and out of trouble,
Right.
when they tell me it's a new story every week,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure you can relate.
Damn, you got me like that. But
No,
hey,
but-
ain't no secret, you know.
Yeah.
So one of my dad's best friends' brother helped his father run a boxing gym
Okay.
in Atascosa County. You know where that's at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OT?
Yeah. Right outside of San Antonio.
So they were good friends. They knew each other, and my dad would go to the gym not to box, but just to mess around, hang
Right.
out. Because my dad was friends with his brother. They were just getting into trouble, but he grew up around the boxing gym.
Right. So he always hung around the gym, and
Yes, sir.
he wasn't actually involved, but he was around the gym.
Yep.
Okay.
So when it was time to take my brother to the gym, that's who he called.
Nice.
My
Nice.
trainer now.
Heck yeah.
My trainer now to this day.
Oh, so you guys are still training with the same team?
Yup.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
you
And
know,
who is that?
It's more than loyalty.
Right.
It's more that I know he knows his shit.
Yeah. Oh,
He's-
yeah.
You know, if I didn't, even sometimes when you're loyal to somebody, you gotta do what's best for you.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But this is more than that. I mean, he's gonna take me to the next level, and I've always trusted him, and I'm still undefeated.
Nice.
all.
Nice. What's your record right now?
7-0.
7-0.
And I got my pro debut. I got a draw.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. Okay.
So on your pro debut,
That's
when you get out there, you
that
got
that was a big lesson for
Hey,
me.
you said after that I ain't gonna take no more draws, no more
Yeah.
L's, nothing.
Yeah, because definitely I thought I won every round,
Yeah.
but I was just too what they say poised.
right.
Right.
I was
You got
too
kind of caught by the lights.
Exactly.
You,
That was crazy.
You got caught by the lights.
But
Yeah, man, it's different.
Then I
It's-
got back to sit back and think about it and look at it, and I had my whole city there.
right.
So you really have to go all in.
Yeah, so when you have everybody having your back, it's just, I mean, I could just imagine what it's like. I've never been in the ring, but of course I'm close with you and multiple boxers. And how is it when you first did your pro debut? Oh, wait, let's draw that back a little bit. You trained in Johnson City. Did you do Golden Gloves, or where did you go from there?
I did.
How did you get to the pros?
Just about. So I had 56 amateur fights, and I was boxing. I was training for about a year, and then my dad put me in there. All I knew how to throw was 2 punches, a 1-2.
All right.
That's a straight right. That's a jab and a straight right.
Yeah.
And that's how my first fight started.
All right.
I lost a split decision. My second fight, I fought this kid that had 8 fights.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know if he was undefeated. He had 8 fights. I lost another split decision. You know, I kept training.
Right.
I loved it. And my third fight, I went to a tournament. I can't remember the name of the tournament, but I fought the same guy.
So you ran it back with the same guy.
Hey, how was that running it back with
my
him?
third fight, I beat him.
Oh yeah.
And that was in the tournament. So then my fourth fight, I fought for the championship of the tournament because it was a 2-day tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
I beat that guy, but they didn't give it to me. Well, that's where I knew I beat him. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Right.
And
So
Yeah,
fighting so many amateur fights, what makes you say, okay, this is the path for me? As far as what kept you going? I mean, that's a lot of fights, guys. I mean, 50, what did you say? 52 fights?
56.
56 fights. That's a lot of wear and
Really,
tear on your
man?
body and you know, your
Really.
training, you know?
And it's not like I never doubted myself either.
Right. No,
I was-
there has to be ups and downs. There has to be ups and downs. That's just
My
life.
first 10 fights, I lost most of my first 10 fights.
Right.
And I probably lost half of my fights or more.
Right.
And I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah.
No, because I
Right.
mean you're learning as you know we grow in adversity. You know, we don't grow when
But
it's
the
when
big
everything's
reason
simple.
was my family.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
every Tuesday and Thursday when we spar,
Mhm.
my grandpa was there, my dad. And first, when I started boxing, my brother was always there. And now my brother, he's a realtor. He has his own family.
Right.
He sells he's a busy man.
Right.
He's never missed a fight of mine.
Yeah, he's always there in your
But
corner.
it goes as deeper than that. It's to the training. Every day when I train, my grandpa is always with us,
Yeah.
watching. And
So it's a family affair.
mhm.
Nice.
And a lot of times I have discussions with my family.
Right.
Y'all really think I could be a world champ? Y'all really think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So-
Oh yeah. I mean, you gotta have those people in your corner. You gotta have those people that are honest with you and push you to the next level. Because
And-
sometimes it feels like a dream where you're at, right? Because I mean, let's transition into your pro career, your pro boxing career. How did that all come about?
So I was supposed to do a tournament in South Texas, and in my weight class, 152 at the time, there was nobody in my division, so I was what they call unopposed champion, and we eventually couldn't get no more fights. We said, now's the time, let's just do it. Let's turn pro.
Right.
And at that same time, I saw a post my brother saw a post that Robert Garcia made on Instagram. He said, hey, we're looking for 10 fighters that want to train like a world champion. And he sent it to me. He said, you better fucking text him, or I'm going to text him for you
Man.
and tell him to send the payment. So I owe a lot to my brother for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You know what? It's a surprise to me. I mean, I know your brother personally, but it's a surprise to me that he was a boxer. I didn't realize that he was the first boxer of the family.
Okay, so the thing with my brother, he was really good, but he has a anger. Like when he gets
He had anger issues?
there's no boxing.
Right.
It's just
He's out
fighting.
to kill.
Yeah, and the very last football game of his high school career, tore his ACL. He blew out his whole knee, and so that was kind of, he couldn't box no more.
Right.
I stayed at it. I think he had another injury. I stayed at it for him,
Right.
because I know he wants to see me win, and
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
I know you have to believe in yourself that you can win.
Oh yeah, I mean, when anytime you're at the elite level that you're at, Robert Garcia's boxing gym. So you chose to go to Robert Garcia's boxing gym, right?
So I told my brother and my dad, and they said, let's meet up at my house at the gym, and we figured out something short and sweet.
Right.
What we're gonna say, hey Robert, I'm an amateur boxer from San Antonio. I didn't live in San Antonio, but I know he loves San Antonio fighters.
Right.
I told him boxing's my plan A. There is no plan B. It would be a blessing to me and my family if you let me come train. And man, they texted me back within like 10 minutes.
And they took you on from there.
Oh, you know what? I'm lying. I'm lying. Let me
correct that for the record.
let's backtrack that.
No, you're good.
So this is what happened. The whole day went by, and I was just anxious, dog. And the next day I had work.
Yeah.
And for the people that don't know, I helped my brother run a landscaping business
Okay.
in the hill country, and put in those hours, man. I was weed eating.
Yeah.
And of course, I have the AirPods in,
Right.
listening to music, sweating, man, praying.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the crazy part is that I was praying and I was thinking about it. And when you get a notification on your AirPods,
Yeah, and it dings
Like,
and gives you a little ding or what?
Tells you what the notification is.
I
Yeah.
was like, no way.
You didn't want to look at it.
I looked at my phone. Bro, I fucking put my weed eater back in the truck and I just went home.
You didn't even finish the yard.
I was like, I'm done, dog.
Yeah.
I'm done. I made it.
I'm going to California.
Hell yeah.
It's surprised you didn't
Yeah.
drive all the way down
Yeah.
the Interstate 10.
Yeah, I went back to work the next day.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly how it happened.
That's
And I
badass.
remember one of my best buddies, D. Cody, and I was working with him, and I told him, and he was just real happy for me.
Right.
I said, I'm out of here, dude.
I'm done. I'm out to go train with Robert Garcia. I mean, Robert Garcia, he's a boxing legend, bro. When you see the stuff that he does to get the opportunity to go train with Robert Garcia, I mean, that's probably amazing for a kid, in the amateurs and wanting to really pursue it. Now, after that, you went straight into the pros, or you went to train with Robert for a while and then made your way into the pros?
I did a 5-week training camp,
Okay.
and I was supposed to get a fight after that.
Yeah, after that training camp.
And Robert, before the 5 weeks is up, I gotta tell you about Bruno. You know Bruno.
yeah,
I got-
Mr. Bruno Pola.
So there was 10 of us that went
Right.
amateurs, or Bruno was already pro at the time. But when we got there, immediately they separated me and Bruno from the group, and they said, you're gonna train at this time with the pros. And I think they were just using me for sparring. I was getting beat up.
Somebody the right size and the right height to beat up on.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Now they weren't using me for sparring, but maybe testing me.
Right.
Yeah.
See
No,
what I got.
I mean, those guys see so many boxers through their gyms. They can notice raw talent. And I think that's something that we've all noticed in you, is that you just have a raw talent that is, every time you see you train, fight, we just see raw talent in you. And with that, I think that's probably what Robert and them seen, and they put you guys aside. Because Bruno Bola is the same way. We had him on the show. You
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
speaking with Bruno.
Most definitely.
He's a great guy. He has raw
The
talent.
thing about Robert is he just loves people that are very respectful and can get along with all the other guys.
Right.
Mm.
So when you get down to California, you meet Bruno Pola, and they put you guys aside. What was a 5-week training camp like that?
Bruno could barely speak English at the time, so
He had to throw it out there like that. Yeah.
Gotta
he'll tell you.
Yeah.
And I asked him, "Hey, bro, how did you learn English?" "I don't know, movies."
Hey, y'all know who we're talking about. Hey, y'all saw Bruno on the
And
podcast.
then
Yeah.
the rest is just that's how we became such good friends. We
Right.
Start walking to the stores together, and I think everybody else is like, man, these two are like hanging out with each other like
Right.
best friends, but we just clicked.
yeah. You guys just bonded and made a relationship from that. With that, I mean, when I ask Bruno, I go, "Who taught you English?" He always says Sicario.
I teach him
like,
slang.
I think X, you're going through the same thing
Hey,
at
don't
work.
say, yeah, we already talk about that like that.
Hey, X, X can talk Spanish.
Hey, I'm learning
Xavier can
Spanish
talk
now. I'm
Spanish.
learning Spanish now. You know,
Yeah,
hey,
he's
it's
bilingual
getting
now.
into me now. I got a little bit in me now.
Yeah. So
I taught him slang.
yeah,
He does the basics on his own.
right.
And I'll tell him, no, don't say that. And it's funny because
Teaching him the bad words.
whenever I try to speak Spanish, he tries to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you say it wrong and this and that. I'm like, dog, when you speak English bad, I don't fucking make fun of you.
Right.
Hell yeah.
But we get along. We're like night and day. you
Right.
know.
Right. No, to see you guys, your relationship. That's something special. You know what I mean? To see two boxers
But
training out of the same gym. Who, I mean, you guys are literally brothers.
I kind of want to go backwards in time,
Okay, let's go.
back to when I was amateur.
Right.
And, you know, when you're a kid in high school, 'cause I started boxing when I was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a kid in high school, and you know you have a sparring that day, it's tough because you want to eat cake, you want to
Right.
eat junk food, you want to drink sodas,
Right.
just like all your friends. If you have a class party, you want to be part of it. Well, I had to tell my teachers, no, man, I'm going to drink water.
Yeah.
And this
You got to be real disciplined when it comes to your
Yeah.
diet.
And when it was time for sparring, that's me during school acting all tough. But then when school is over, oh, fuck, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I got to go spar, and I'm acting all big and bad.
Right.
On my way to sparrings, because I lived in Johnson City, and I was sparring in San Antonio. So
Yeah.
good hour drive.
So you're driving the whole
You-
way, just thinking about
you wouldn't
your
believe
opponent.
you wouldn't believe me if I would watch Robert Garcia videos
Oh,
on the way
okay.
to the gym. I would watch Mikey Garcia sparring.
Right.
I would all that, Ellie Seckback videos.
Yeah.
ES News.
Yeah. All those old tapes.
That's what helped me get through
Right.
my whole amateur career. Anytime I was nervous to spar, because you know who you're sparring,
Right.
and just the way it happened was amazing.
What's crazy is starting out at a young age, you hit the nail on the head. You have to be so disciplined. When your diet, your training,
Your
you pretty
surroundings.
much got to dedicate your life to it.
Right.
You know.
After school, I'd be running around the neighborhood,
Right.
and I just want to keep going because I won't let none of that go to waste. I
Right.
just want to show them. I want to show all the little kids. If you work hard, you can get whatever you want.
Right.
That's
right.
really all it is.
Yeah.
How disciplined can you be, and the results will show.
But it has to be rewarding when you set out a goal like you did at 10 years old, to actually
15.
be at 15 years old, and actually be in the game right now with some of the greatest. You know what I mean? You're at Robert Garcia's. I mean, you see Virgil Ortiz. You're just seeing all these great boxers going through that gym.
I'm not just seeing them; I'm sparring them.
Right.
Yeah, let's make
He's
that
like, I'm
clear.
in there with them. Yeah.
Let's make that clear.
But you said it's crazy at a young age.
Right.
Oh,
Did you
man,
see yourself there?
A lot of my amateur fights I've lost because all those kids started when they were like 6 or 8.
Right.
And I technically started late.
Oh, compared
So-
to like Daniel Cortez and them, they started.
Dan Cortez been boxing since he could walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bam Rodriguez. Like you
Yeah.
see the tapes of them when they're I mean, they're young and they're in their
Little
amateur
kids.
boxing.
Yeah.
I think one thing I always thought about, I would pray this kid's going to get tired of boxing. He started when he was 7. By the time he fights me, oh, he's already done. Like
Right. He's tired of sparring and being in the ring.
Life's all about phases.
Right.
And boxing's not forever. But some kids, they start too young and their dads push them and they might get overwhelmed and
Right.
they might get tired of it.
Yeah, for sure. It has to be taxing on not just your body, your mental health. You know what I mean? CTE and all these head injuries. This stuff we didn't see this in football. So I mean, we seen it, but they don't know what to call it. We didn't see it in boxing, contact sports, UFC. I mean, it has to be taxing on your mental when your body's not reacting the way you want it to react, right?
Yeah. Shoot. I don't know. I did the calculations. The truth is, there's a higher chance of me dying in a car wreck than me getting
CTE.
something
Yeah.
happening to me. So,
Okay.
you got to be a big risk taker.
No, for sure. So, tell us a little about your pro career. Now you're with Robert Garcia. You and Bruno are put aside, to set you with the pro guys. And where did you go from there?
It's crazy because the whole training camp, Robert, he's a man. He doesn't say much,
Right.
and you just want to, he's watching you. He knows everything. In the camp house, he was never in the camp house, but I'm not saying nobody's a snitch, but he knew everything what was going on.
Yeah.
It's like he had cameras.
Right.
So the very last day of that 5-week training camp, he told me, my dad, Big G,
Yeah.
my dad says you're ready to turn pro.
Mm.
He said, go home and find a fight, and you can come back to training camp,
And get ready.
and I'll help you.
Nice.
And I went home like happy.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, no way.
Hyping you up.
Heck yeah, I bet you that was a great homecoming.
So that's what I did. I found the fight with Morones Boxing here in San Antonio. Shout out to Morones. He's helped me get started. I did another training camp with Robert, maybe like 4 weeks. And that fight didn't even happen.
Right.
Backtrack a little bit. So Bruno, he was in Mexico at the time after the 5-week training camp.
Right.
And they were looking for a 168-pounder.
Yeah.
I said, Bruno, I'll buy your plane ticket. Come to Texas. Come to the fights and fight, because he was boxing in Mexico. He didn't have the best trainers and sparring partners in Mexico. I said, Bruno, I helped Bruno buy his flight to Texas. So we were both supposed to fight on my pro debut.
Right.
And this was, I don't want to lie, I think this was probably his 4th or 5th professional fight.
Yeah.
Neither of our opponents showed up.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man.
To the weigh-ins, and that was.
So that seems to happen a lot when
It does.
you're working your way up
It
the
does.
ranks. Is what I'm noticing. Is,
And my grandma and grandpa, they make it a big deal. But
right.
I can't be a beggar because, I can't be a chooser because I don't even have a pro fight yet.
Right.
This is just the beginning.
This is just the opportunity
If
to
I
get
was-
into the pros.
If I was Canelo, I would sue his ass or sign a contract. Everybody was upset because we signed contracts, this and that.
Right.
But for your pro debut, no one could care less.
Right. Right. When you're just getting the opportunity, you're just happy to get the chance. You can't be
Yep.
pushing your weight around. So what happened after you didn't get the fight? How did that go? I mean, did they bring up an opponent?
Man, it sucked because they kept telling us, "Oh, we got a guy for you. He's gonna come weigh in." And I'm in the back of my head, I'm like, I hope he doesn't show up. I hope it doesn't happen at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're already devastated because of the fight.
Once you flip that switch in your mind, it's you're in fight mode, and then you're like, am I fighting?
Yeah.
And then y'all go out to eat after the weigh-ins, and it's like, hey, keep your mind right because you might fight.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah, because you're still in limbo. You don't know who you're fighting. You don't know your mind's going crazy. You've been cutting weight. You're hydrated because you guys cut so much.
Yeah.
And you get a fresh meal, and you all the unknowns is the idle time that kills you.
Mm-hmm. So then eventually we got that call. The fight wasn't gonna happen. Then me and Bruno just got to hang out some more.
Right. So Bruno didn't even fight.
No.
Oh dang.
No.
Dang. So they canceled both y'all's fights.
Kind of worked out just to have Bruno over here. And
Right. For you guys to build a relationship and hang out.
spend some time because at that time everybody knew Bruno because of me.
Right.
I told them about him. They never met him.
Yeah.
The day after the fight got canceled, we all went to eat downtown San Antonio,
Yeah.
and the rest is history from there.
Right. You guys have definitely made a splash in the boxing in San Antonio.
Robert totally understood.
Yeah.
Right. The situation.
No,
And
I think Robert has seen your guys' talent and has sharpened you guys. And not just you guys. Shout out Daniel Cortez family. Man, what you guys are doing in the city.
That's my other brother.
Yeah, what you guys are doing in the city is crazy, bro. The events that Robert Garcia and the events that they're putting on.
His name's
Boxers and Brawlers.
Boxers and Brawlers.
Yeah.
Alvino. Big shout out to
Alvino, Boxers and Brawlers.
For giving us the opportunity.
No, the stuff that they're doing is great, bro. It's not just great for you guys. It's great for the community. It's great. I think when I met you and we met, I'm a street guy. I'm from the streets. You know what I mean? And it was
bingo. I called it earlier.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah. When you met me, you're like, you remind me of my dad. You guys are too serious.
Yeah.
We did a face-off. We did a video where we're doing some content creation. He's like, dude, you're just like my dad. Nah, but what I'm saying is to give back to the neighborhoods and get involved with you guys and get involved with boxing and be a part of it. It's awesome to see you guys stay out of trouble and create goals and stay disciplined and stay out of the clubs.
Right.
Because at your age, you know, man, it's crazy.
Well, we can't even say that. Being in San Antonio alone, it's tough with your surroundings here. You know how it is.
Yeah. Who knows where I'd be if I stayed here. A lot of boxers come from San Antonio.
Right.
But I think it would be different.
That was going to be one of my questions. If you weren't in San Antonio, not even in San Antonio, where do you see yourself outside of boxing? Like, if you never took that pursuit to actually, pursue boxing, where would you see yourself? Or what did you see yourself doing prior to you actually doing boxing,
Probably go to college.
Right.
Probably try to be a realtor just like my brother.
Yeah.
Because up until boxing, I did everything my brother did.
Yeah.
Just copy him.
Your
Just
role
wanna
model.
Be exactly like him.
Right.
Do everything. And then, like I told you, he got injured, and he had to stop boxing. So that was the last thing I took from him, the boxing. I just kept going.
Roll with it.
Yeah, but up until then, he played football. I'm playing football.
Yeah.
He goes to his friend's house. I'm going with him.
Hey, I'm the same way. Yeah,
Hell
I'm the
yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I owe a lot to my brother for, man, more than I can imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, your brother's a great guy, and I could see, because I have an older brother, I did the same thing. It was just like, whatever you're into, I'm riding.
Yeah.
We're riding till the wheels fall off.
A little bad influence.
People like
You hear that,
People
Los?
like-
Bad influence. He said it.
people like Dan Cortez. They taught me it doesn't have to just be your brother. It could be your cousin.
Right. I
Things
mean,
like that.
so going back to it, being in the San Antonio market and being around Bam Rodriguez, because San Antonio is big on boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a big history, culture we've had some big fights in the Alamo Dome. We have, Ryan Garcia's fought here. I mean, we're big boxing town. So you being a fabric of all that, how does it feel to actually walk the streets and people go, "Hey, you're the boxer that I seen fighting." How's that
Yeah.
feel?
It's amazing. It's even better because all of my fans that help me sell out the venues,
Right.
they don't know any other fighters. Well, now they do because they've been to several fights.
Right.
And they're like, hey, Dan Cortez, that's a great fighter. Bruno Paula, that's a badass fighter.
Right.
Well, all my fans, they had never been to a boxing fight before.
Oh wow.
And so I got to show my city.
Right. You got to introduce that to Johnson City, to the Hill Country,
And-
because when I always sit in your section, and we always support you and sit in your section. But man, you got a vast majority of fans from real estate agents to country boys to
Yep.
I mean, but then on
Everybody thinks it's, Johnson City.
Right.
But I got a lot of people from Dallas.
yeah, I mean, people
everywhere.
come from all over to see you box, and that's awesome to see. But even at that, you've grown your following, boxing here in San Antonio, and some of Daniel Cortez fans and family. I mean, we're all like,
Shout out to all of them because
Yeah.
I love all the support.
yeah,
all
the
those
Rita
people.
family. Yeah, they're great, and they're great in a lot of things that they do. But when it comes to boxing and what they brought, and you guys have created this little team like you and Ethan Perez, Daniel.
That's my other brother.
Daniel Cortez. I mean, you guys are hot right now, bro. Yeah, and it's awesome to see what you guys are building. But that aside, we haven't seen you box in a while, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get into a little bit of outside the ring, right?
Okay. So
What you been up to?
What's new?
when was Bruno's last fight? It was in I want to say May.
No, it's June. He went in June.
Yeah, he fought in
He
June.
fought in June.
Okay, I was supposed to be on that card.
You were headlining that card, right?
Supposedly
Right.
7-0 versus 7-0.
Right.
Could have been co-main event behind Daniel Cortez, but who me and Daniel don't matter. We don't.
Yeah,
care.
it don't matter.
Yeah.
You guys both put on a great show.
Yeah. Well, my baby at the time, 6 months old,
All right.
so I was just trying to be new to the parenthood,
Right.
and I was in training camp, and I had a slight injury in sparring.
Right.
You know, it happens to everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, not only that, when I was 3 weeks in the training camp, and that's when my mom, she unexpectedly passed away.
Mm.
And so then my Robert Garcia, he said, no, let's pull him from the fight and let's just wait for the next one. And so it's been a tough year for me.
Right.
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry for your loss. with
Yeah,
your
my
brother.
condolences.
Thank you,
Most
man.
My
definitely.
condolences. Yeah, that on anybody on the loss of your loved one.
Just
be
like
hard
we
on you.
said earlier, you never know what someone's dealing with.
Right.
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 Right. You don't see that when we watch you in the ring and we watch your performances and we watch how you're killing. That's kind of why I wanted to set this platform for you guys, and that's kind of why I want to have this interview, because man, you got a lot of fans out there. You got a lot of people who love and support you in the city of San Antonio, and you know, I wanted to pull the curtain back and kind of show people that we don't realize what you're going through. We hear it, and some people may say, "Oh yeah, he had a loss," but man, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
When you have to deal with something like that. I think I talked to you a couple days. I mean, it doesn't matter the timeline, but I talked to you after that. And when I got off the phone with you, I was in tears for you. I don't know what I would do without my mom.
Right.
You know, and you're at such a young age where you sounded so optimistic, and I think that it was just so early. But as you're dealing with that coming from training camp, let's talk a little bit about that.
So, I kind of want to. We're talking about the personal life. I consider my grandmother my mom. I
Okay.
consider my grandpa my dad.
Right.
Alrighty.
They
I
raised
got
you.
2 dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, they raised me since I was 4 years old. the major memories that I have of my mother was, I do have core memories from when I was 4,
Right.
and I know they're not just dreams.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I see the way Sicario looks at my son.
Right.
I see the way other mothers look at their son and treat them, and I know my mom loved me,
Yeah.
and like
Sure.
me and my brothers, and so I grew up with my grandparents, and the main reason I was upset is because I felt like guilty,
Yeah.
because every week my mom would talk to me, she would text me, but
Right.
I would just ignore her.
Yeah. You guys
Yeah.
were on the
Kinda-
outs a little
Right.
bit.
Kind of had like a little bit of not hatred, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
you know, man,
Mhm.
yeah.
A little bit of resentment.
Resentment,
for,
Yep.
for being raised by your grandparents.
Call me 10 times back to back. Just end it because I'm busy with my friends.
Right.
And in my mind, I always thought I'm gonna make it to the top, and then my mom's gonna be older. Hopefully, she gets clean. All this,
Right.
Yeah.
So your mom.
everything's
so your
gonna
mom
be
dealt
different in the
with
future.
Yeah.
Your mom dealt with an addiction, and that's what stopped her from. Well, that's what took her away from you,
So-
raising you.
Yeah, they. And the way I see it is, man, look at me now. Like you
Right.
said, where would you be if you weren't in Johnson City? If they didn't take me away from my mom, where would I be?
You
Right.
don't know, yeah.
So everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when you go through something like that, you start to look at things and you start to look back and I mean, for our viewers, and I tell this to my guys all the time. I'm preaching this daily to everybody, and I didn't realize it. Man, life is a gift, brother,
Yeah.
and every day that you wake up, it's a great day to be alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't take it for granted.
Right.
Not 1 second. When you go through something like that, excuse me, something that's so traumatic, man, you realize that. You know, you go through those emotions of having regrets and having thinking we have time. Like, there's no time. Like, there's no time like the present moment.
Right.
You know, and I think you dealing with that, you came to that realization.
Yeah, my regret was just not having enough money to take care of her, because
Right.
even though I'm 24 now, I don't have much money.
Yeah, no,
It's
Yeah.
tough.
Right.
Yeah.
People think boxers make a lot of money. It's what you do outside of the sport.
Right.
And maybe I got a couple bucks in my pocket, and my mother would be asking me for money. No, it doesn't matter to me what she's using it for. If I had it, I'll send it to her.
Just there, it just makes you have that good feeling, most definitely.
That's
yeah,
the-
you
that-
be able
the
to give her
least-
that blessing.
The least I ever did was just every week just send her money.
Right.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Just send her a
10
little
bucks,
blessing.
$20
It's something.
every
Yeah.
week. That's all I did though. I never.
You never stop. You never stop to put the time in to. But like you said when we started this conversation, and I don't mean to take you here, but people need to hear this because it's important for people to realize that as you're busy on your daily life at your age, at 22, 23 years old, you're trying to figure out life. You're trying to navigate your pro career, your boxing career. You're trying to navigate your situation with your girlfriend and your family and everything. Sometimes you just gotta slow down and enjoy the moment. You know, and everything happens for a reason. Sometimes I ask God, like, I don't know why I've been through some of the things I've been through, but I know everything that I've been through has been for a purpose.
Yeah.
Everything, every hard road, easy road that I've traveled has got me to this point that we are today on a podcast with some of my best friends,
Right.
doing my thing. You know what I mean? So as you're going through that, Sicario, and what happens after? I know you got ready to go back and train to for your fight, and what happened after that?
Well, when that happened, my brother, I will tell you the day I found out, it was just a normal Thursday
Right.
in training camp, and I was wrapped up, had my AirPods in, kind of like the same scenario when Robert texted me.
Right.
Yeah.
Had my AirPods in, I was shadowboxing, and I started getting a phone call, and it was my brother.
Right.
What's up, bro? I'm just here at the gym. He was crying. He said, and that's what hurts me because I never seen my brother cry like that.
Right.
But he said, I'm going to tell you something, and you got to promise me you'll take it like a man. I said, first thing I'm thinking, my grandparents.
Yeah.
I was already mad. I was pissed off at the world. But he told me the news, and it hurt a lot. But it made me realize how much more time I'm going to spend with my grandparents.
Right.
Right.
And that way, I won't regret nothing.
Yeah. You won't have no regrets.
Yeah.
Life is not to, like you said, man, everything happens for a reason. And
If it was my grandparents, I don't know if I don't know, no.
Yeah. Well, no, man, I want to say, again, my condolences, but I mean, you sitting here strong. I salute you, because if it was me, my mom, my heart, you know what I mean? If anything happened like that, my grandma, both of my grandparents, and I mean, how did you push through that? I know you're here sitting now, you're taking a little break, you got your son or whatever, but what's next for you when it comes to boxing after going through something like this? Because I know, it's recent,
Well, I'm a believer of God.
Right, of course.
I don't know if you want to call it the universe or whatever, but there's good and there's bad.
Right.
Believe in there's heaven, there's hell.
Of course.
You
Yeah,
could be
for sure.
positive or you could be negative. So I just try to stay positive and think, now I know I told myself I'm going to show her a beautiful life.
Most definitely.
And that's just what helps me get through it.
Yeah.
It sounds real simple, but she never had a beautiful life, and I know it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm fighting to show her, and she'll be happy. She's happy.
That's all you can do.
no, definitely. I know. I met your mom at some of your boxing events, and man, and she's proud of you, bro.
She loves me. Yeah.
She's proud of you, bro. When we see you out there giving it your all, and we're sitting there with your parents, and your dad's in your corner, and your grandpa's there, everybody's proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
What you've done and the adversity. I think we've had multiple conversations where you've been facing adversity, and you've been facing things that none of us expected for it to happen. But as you face that adversity, even with you being injured and not being able to be the main event, I think when you go through something like that, you start searching at what's the real meaning of life.
Right.
Exactly.
You start looking at God and asking God, like, what is really my purpose here?
Well,
And I think that's what I'm seeing in you now, as not just the boxer. I'm watching a young man grow up and start realizing, like, I mean, I know me and you talked about multiple business ventures together and things like that we got going on.
I started to realize it's all about the kids now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
no longer a kid. I have my own. So
So what?
boxing's not forever. I
Right.
told my grandparents. I told them this last week too.
Right.
I'm taking it fight by fight.
Yeah.
Boxing's not gonna be forever. I don't know how long it's gonna last. But I'm gonna go 110%,
Yeah.
110% for this fight, and then after I win, I know I'm gonna win. Because I'm gonna go 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And hey, if
you-
you
when
watch your highlights, we know you're gonna go 110% and put a show on.
And
That's for sure.
Then I'll see where I'm at.
Yeah,
But,
for sure. So
there's all these ideas that I got.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we have a bunch of stuff. You're still, I mean, you got a great team. You surround yourself around great people. Your family is amazing. Your brother, your grandparents, your dad. I mean, they've all, man. From what I know, they got your back. All of us got your back. But as you go through this transition period of dealing with the tragedy, let's go into fatherhood, because as I'm watching you raise your son, and I just how's fatherhood?
I'd say good.
He got a smile on his face, man. That's all you can say. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Most
As this thing starts rolling, and I'm watching you raise your son, bro. That's all. I mean, we let people know how fatherhood is. How is it raising?
It links back to my mother.
Right.
She sees me the way she sees my son now, so it makes me happy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with a lot. You know,
Yeah.
me and his mother, we're not together right now, so we're trying to co-parent the best we can.
Yeah, the co-parenting is always a tough situation. Like
Yeah.
my first kids, and I think I've shared this with you. Like when you're young and you have kids, you really don't know what you're doing. There's no playbook. You know what I mean, there's no playbook. Everybody can tell you, hey, do this, do that. I don't think your parents had a playbook, right?
My grandma, my grandpa, they give me advice.
Right.
Things aren't the same from
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
They're yeah.
It's a big
Mijo,
difference.
ponle una egg on his head. He'll be all right. He has all.
That's her family.
Oh, that's her family.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I'm not too big on ojo and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a strong believer. If you believe it could hurt you, then it'll hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it can't,
Sure.
then
Yeah, no. When you have Jesus Christ in your life,
You're indestructible.
and you have
Mhm.
that belief in God, you know God's everything. He's your provider. He's your healer. He's your everything, right?
yeah.
But with that being said, man, co-parenting, and you know, I know you're going through a lot. I don't want to get too far deep into it, but as you're co-parenting and as you're navigating not being with the child, your child's mom,
full time.
full time, that has to take a toll on you. On top of the tragedy you just came off of, and a slight injury and sparring. So what's next for you, my brother? What's the future? What do you see yourself doing next? Because I mean, you're facing so much adversity, and I know you, man. God got your back. I know that. One thing I can share with you is in the valley, God is there, bro. No matter what.
I told you, what's next for me is 110% for this fight.
Nice.
And the fight is in 3 months, October 12th.
October 12th. Where's that at? Is that going to be at the Boeing Tech Arena?
Techport Center.
Techport Center.
Arena.
Yeah, nice.
That's what's next for me, going 110%. I got a landscaping business. In 3 weeks, we're starting the building to Johnson City's own boxing gym.
Hey.
It's
We
good stuff.
haven't really been on Facebook or
Right.
so it's just gonna happen.
So you're starting to give back to the community and starting to give back.
It goes back to being for the kids.
Right. And you're starting to give back to getting back to the basics.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Sure.
where you started. That's awesome to see. Is you doing that, and
That's the part of boxers people don't see though, because people think you could hit the bags, train for 2 hours a day, then after you gotta wake up and run, or you have to hit the track and you have to put in the extra time,
Right.
and you're gonna be real tired if you're not gonna have energy for that if you work a full job. But I've had plenty of doubts this last month.
yeah, I bet.
A lot more doubts than I've ever had.
Yeah.
And when I start to think about it, I don't know why I've never had doubts in the past, because I'm further than I've ever been before.
Right.
I'm closer to it than I've ever been before.
Yeah.
But like last week, and this all happens in the last month.
Right. Yeah. No. This.
I'd be crying
I mean,
to my grandma.
This, for our viewers, I mean, this literally starts snowballing. It's kind of like when it rains, it pours. And
Yep.
like you said, in the last month, you've just been going through it.
Crying to my grandma, telling her, I just want to get my own apartment and get a fucking 7 to 5 job.
Right.
I just want to be normal.
Yeah. You just want to go back.
My grandma was like, You're just sad right now.
Keep pushing, mijo. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's crazy
For real.
because the next day, I show her all these messages that I get from the little kids
Right.
and some adults, and they really kind words.
Yeah.
Really kind words that they're blessed to know me, this and that.
Right.
Hey, I know you're going through a lot, but just know me and my brother look up to you. I'm getting all these messages in one day, and I tell my grandma, and she's like, "You see?"
Yeah. Everything happens for a
It's
reason.
kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like God.
It's gonna get
God
put right in
sending
your
you
face.
messages, you know.
He gives me messages all the
Yeah,
time.
he's sending you messages through other people of encouragement. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you sometimes, not sometimes, bro, all the times, we can't see the impact we're making because we only have vision. We're only looking forward, but you don't see all the people around you that you impact or you inspire, and then
Right.
some people you don't even know that you inspire.
Right.
Like coming on the podcast and sharing your story and having the guts to sit there and say, hey, sometimes I do have doubts. Everybody sees you as an indestructible boxer because that's
Yeah.
what you show in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But pulling back the curtain and sharing that's gonna do something to somebody who's going through it. Because it doesn't matter if you're a boxer or you're a businessman or you're just an average person working a 9 to 5. We all go through
Yeah.
tragedy.
Sure.
you know?
So, like I said, what's next is 110% for this fight.
Nice.
I know I'm gonna win, no matter who it is.
And line them up.
The gym will be finished by October 12th,
Okay.
and it's all about the kids. It's gonna be free for kids.
Oh, okay.
Whoever's willing to learn and listen to me and my dad is gonna be free for kids.
Right.
I'm gonna try to do. Me and my dad,
Right.
we're gonna try to do a nonprofit.
Okay.
Never dealt with it before,
Right.
but we're gonna try to figure it
So
out.
you guys are gonna create a nonprofit for kids to come in and train in your boxing gym and put on boxing events and stuff like that.
Eventually,
Oh, go get ahead.
Eventually-
Go get ahead of the.
eventually, we want to throw events,
Right.
right?
Right.
For sure. But first, I'm gonna start with benefits. My dad bought a big, huge smoker that'll fit probably like 15 briskets.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of friends that are in the rock band, and we're gonna have some benefits in Johnson City.
Right.
Hopefully every weekend
Yeah.
on sparring days, because I'm not gonna get the gym without a ring.
Yeah.
Get a-
Hey, those rings are pricey, bro. I was looking at.
Maybe like
I know the more
5,000.
and more you've been talking about it, the more and more I've been doing the research on the business side of how much would this cost us to put this gym together? How much? Because I'm of course in the same ring as you as far as giving back to the community, and opening up a boxing gym. And let's welcome Bruno Pola to the podcast. What's
He
up,
made
Bruno?
it. He made it.
Finally, go ahead and
He's
have
in
a
here.
seat. Have a seat.